Anyone who thinks there isn't evil is probably evil themselves. Ooh, ciao. Hey, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about power, okay? Dang, we are almost at the end of Power. This has been an amazing journey. So many good episodes, so many good, plots. I can't believe that it's actually going to be over soon. But let's talk about this episode, y'all. So Carter has broken the news to the crew that Felicia is no longer with them. And it looks like he put it down as like a car accident so that it wouldn't raise any suspicion. Monet and Tyriq, they both want to try to find a way to take down Carter. And I mean, they both have good reason. He's like pretty much blackmailing them, like doing all kind of stuff to them. So they done with the whole situation. The other option they have is, if they don't do it themselves because they're not trying to go down, is to see how they can manipulate the situation to get Noma to do it. That can always work, right? Little did Monet know at that time, when she actually had a meeting, her, Tyriq, and at that moment actually, she didn't know that Monet was actually going to be her daughter-in-law. Crazy. They probably like the same age. That's crazy. So it looks like Drew has definitely moved up in the rankings with Carter. He's like almost like his right-hand man. Like, he's actually taking advice from him, giving advice to him. I'm just like, dang, okay. I see he definitely sees the loyalty in him. So it also looks like Brayden is moving forward with Elle. That's her name. He claims he loves her. He's going to move in with her. And he's pretty much leaving Tyriq in the dust. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, what happened to the loyalty? Is it that you love the girl, or do you love the drugs and the way they bring you to euphoria? Is that what it is for real? But yeah, I mean, shortly after he said that and he told Tyriq he was about to leave, boom, what happens? Homegirl is pretty much almost comatose, like almost expired, and she was with what's her name, with Keisha. Is that what they call her on the show? I can't even remember. But anyway, with her, and they pretty much had to call the ambulance, because the girl was literally almost dying because she took a bad batch of the stuff that she was taking, the coke. She took a bad batch of it. It had fentanyl in it. And that's what's happening with a lot of people these days, which is, it's sad that people are going through that. It's sad that people have addictions, I wish there was a way that more people would be able to get more help. And if they had Narcan, I think it's called Narcan. If they had that, I mean, is that what it's called, Narcan? I feel like it is, but I could be wrong. If they had that, I mean, that could have definitely helped, to kind of bring her back to life before the ambulance had came. But I mean, luckily she was okay. And let me tell you guys, so Brayden took it upon himself to get Tyriq involved, to go help for his girlfriend, go avenge her, call up the drug dealer dude, set up a meeting, go to his house, claiming he was going to intimidate him, but he was already high with that stuff. And I thought, I really sat here and said to myself, you know what, seeing her like this, where she almost died, this will probably set him straight, because now he realizes how things could go wrong. No, that is not what happened. This dude still was taking it, still crashing out, and had the dude like sniffing to the point where he was dying, and then ended up like literally offing the dude. I'm like, and Tyriq is just like, yo, this is a sloppy, messy BS. Like, what are you doing? Cops coming and everything. I'm like, yo, if this be the way that they get taken down, like, this is stupid. And then he proceeds to be stupid even more, go to this chick and tell her what he did. And she looked at him like he was the Green Goblin. Like, she looked at him like he was like the Undertaker. Like, are you crazy? She's like, yo, if there's anything that I've learned from going through sickle cell, is that life is precious. Like, this is not the type of guilt that I want to be holding on to. So I feel like either she might take herself out of the world, or I feel like she's just not gonna F with him anymore. Or she could even snitch on him. Like, dude, you don't even know her for real. And that's the same thing that Tyriq was telling him. Like, you don't even know her for real. You just barely met her. You about to, like, tell this girl. And that's the thing. Yo, he always telling these females too much too soon. It's like a pattern for him. If y'all see, it's like he just wants somebody to, like, love. And I feel like that's the main theme with some of these people. And as we move on to the next thing, this kind of more talks about love or the lack thereof. So the cat's out the bag with Effie, Monet, Tyriq, and Davis. They all know that that the two of them is getting married, which is Noma and Kane. But, they did let him know that it's more of a business type of arrangement, trying to get Davis to make sure all the legalities are set up, trying to have Effie set up the social media backlinked, backdated and stuff like that, making sure that everything looks legit and, that they've been together for a while so they could have some type of social media, presence, because that is something that immigration does look at. They can look at your social media. They can look at, messages. They can look at to make sure you have bank accounts together. Just things that make sure that things are legitimate when you're doing something through marriage, immigration through marriage. So they had her doing that, pretty much told Monet and Tyriq when they was talking to them. So, and it was a huge ring. I could definitely see Effie was hurt and kind of shocked by this, because it was like he was just saying that he was just going to help her with one more thing. And now it's like, wait, what's going on? It kind of like threw her for a loop real quick. Diana, she met up with Tyriq again. And I mean, she was ready to give parenting a whole nother shot because she's been lost, and that's something that is pretty common if you've had a miscarriage. A lot of women, they do get in that mode where they may want to try again, pretty quickly, or they start thinking a lot about the child that they lost, or just having a child in general, because it does mess with your mind. There was a person that's inside of you and they're no longer there anymore, so she was trying to trick him, entice him real quick, and get it on so that he can try again. But he remembered the words of his mother and was not about to do that. He was like going for the condoms, and she's like, is it the worst thing in the world if I get pregnant by you again? And he just was kind of quiet, like. And then she got upset. He was like, you gotta understand. It's like, damn. I could see how she's hurt now. But I could see how for him it's kind of like he almost dodged a bullet, even though he may not want to say the wrong thing. I feel like that's part of his emotions. Like, he does feel like he dodged the bullet. So we get to meet Effie's mother in this particular episode, and she was a Caucasian woman. She does seem like she's like, just from her aura. And you guys, you can check out my main channel, which is some more intuitive chats. Or you could put some more love TV or go to it as well. But I'm gonna start doing like readings and things like that. I am also a spiritual counselor. I'm also a teacher. I'm gonna be starting teaching this month. So I'm excited about that. I haven't really told anybody. It's not something that I'm really gonna share too much of, but might as well say it right now. But anyways, so I do like readings and stuff. I can read people's aura, and with her, you could just tell that she's been through a lot. She hasn't made good choices, probably even been on drugs, just like a low quality type of, I don't want to say low quality type of human being, but I think that helps to give a picture of what I'm saying. So, and it seems like she's been very negligent as far as being a parent. That's what we were getting through the conversation that she had with Effie. And it's like, after all this time, the only thing that she had to say was to try to ask Effie to help her out. And it's like, you haven't been there for her. You allowed this man to abuse her for all those years. She finally got away. And you're trying to get remorse from her or sympathy from her because this guy finally left you. And now you're on your own and you don't know what to do. I mean, honestly, I'm usually a very empathetic person, but I'm so with Effie on this. Like, you can't allow people to hurt you constantly and then think that they can just come back, boom, and pop up in your life, you know? And Effie's just like, yo, I wouldn't spit on you if you was on fire. No, she said I wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire, I think. See, for me, I usually say, like, if I don't like somebody, I wouldn't spit on you if you was on fire, because that's disrespectful to me. But piss is even worse. Like, damn. She said 2 other things. I forgot the other things that she said, but she's like, I wouldn't give you anything. And her mother said something like she's cold-hearted, or, you know, she doesn't have a heart or something along those lines, and that's why nobody wants you. And I know that definitely hurt her, even given the situation with Cain, where she definitely was starting to fall for him. But it's like they really didn't go too in depth with their feelings. I feel like both of them was a little closed off. They kind of was doing the whole friends with benefits thing. So it's like, at the end of the day, nobody is really fully tied to anybody. Like, you're not really in a relationship. So it's like, you can't be mad if somebody's doing this business dealing or whatever. But she was mad with the strength of, you're my friend. So I thought at least I would have been one of the first people to find out this information, or we could have talked about it or whatever. Like, whatever happened to, I'm going to just do this one last thing. Now you're getting married to this person. Like, that's a whole big thing. Like, now, you know, they get it on and popping. Now that's like adultery. You know what I mean? Like, now it's taken to a different level. But he keeps on stressing the fact that it's a business dealing, you know? So both Davis and her were upset about that particular situation, about the whole marriage thing. And it's like, there was another scene that they showed later on where it's like, she had a talk with Cain, and she's like, he said, you know, I'm going to be there for you regardless of any of this. And she's like, she just wants at least for Cain to have her back, you know? And I feel like it's because she feels like she's always on her own. She always has to have herself. And I know a lot of people that have had tough upbringings can definitely relate to that. Like, you're tough, you're independent, you don't want to put your guards down, because when you do, it's like you feel like you got hurt or you got stabbed in the back or betrayed. So it's like, why should I put my guards down if this is going to be the end result each and every time, you know? He just made her put her guards up even more. And then her mother coming back was just like another sign to her, like, nah. So Drew is definitely on some different stuff. Like, his aura is definitely a lot. Like, he gained some aura points, right? Because dude is different now. You know, he's not the person to play with anymore. Cain tried to come at him, you know, try to show his dominance, you know, like he's the wolf pack leader, something like that. And Drew had to humble him real quick, because he tried to take away like this fighting place that he enjoys, that he loves, that belonged to the other dude before, you know. And once he did that, Drew was like, oh, I see what you're doing. Checkmate, ho. What he did, went through his computer, found out that Noma was about to get a delivery of some guns, had that joint raided. Oh, sorry about the guns. Boom. Checkmate. So, yeah. Now I think he can kind of see, like, yo, he's not easily intimidated. He's not the dude you can stomp out and leave on the ground. Like, dude's been to jail, okay? He's different now. You can even see it in his face. Like, he looks dirty. Like, he looked tough. Like, he's been through a lot. Like, he's about that life. You know, that's not the same artist that y'all knew before. Nah. He's the giver. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that. F out of here. So Noma, she almost got set up by Carter. Luckily, Davis came and saved the day. You know what I mean? And Davis about to be flipped by Tyriq and Monet. I mean, he said that his loyalty's to them, but he's also working with Noma. So he definitely got to watch out, because that's a dangerous game to play. We done seen what she did to Obi. You know? That was one of her closest people. And you know she was getting the D from him. All right? But she had no ties. Oh yeah, her daughter had asked her, like, you know, to tell her the real. This woman still lied. Yo, she's such a gaslighter and manipulator. Like, she dead told her, like, your father, I'm betraying him by saying this, but your father was a drug dealer. And, you know, I had to do what I had to do to get away from him. I was afraid for my life. Like, girl, bye. You're the biggest drug dealer. I know her daughter wasn't fully accepting that. Like, she got some like clarity from it, but she still tried to go to talk to Kane to find out more. And she told Kane, like, I ain't about to call you daddy. I'm like, ew. Yo, they're almost the same age group. Like, that's crazy. In real life, they probably are. But anyways, back to the whole Carter almost set up Noma thing. She was having a meeting with some dude. I think he was like a I know he was a government official. And, you know, they was going to set up some stuff, but Davis came right in time before she said anything to implement herself, because there was eyes watching her and things listening to her as well. You know, like bugs. So that would have went terrible. Absolutely terrible. But everyone's like trying to betray somebody, flip on somebody, lie to them, deceit. There was so much deception in this particular episode. Like lies, deception, flipping. It was just a lot. And Noma, she was able to meet up with Carter later, because she did try to get one of his people, one of his boys, one of the close cops to him, named Nico, but it didn't work out too well, because dude took the money. Even though he didn't tell Carter, he took the money already. He took the money for the first meetup and then pretty much told Carter what it was. But he's smart though, because he made sure he got something out of it, even though he wasn't giving anybody anything. And he made the stakes so high that it was almost unattainable. Like, y'all got to give me 7 figures, because this is going to be an international, global type of thing. So if I'm risking that much, like, y'all need to give me a lot more. Like, $50,000 is chump change. He got that just for showing up. I'm like, yo, they on some next level rich stuff. Oh, but yeah, so she ends up meeting up with Carter. And Carter's like, yo, y'all did the unthinkable. Like, you thought she was going to flip my boy? My boy? Like, yo, you must have lost your mind. And now it looks like him and Noma are actually going to be working together. So this should be interesting. It's just like everybody's so cutthroat. Like, I just feel like they're just gonna have like a shoot off. Like, it's just gonna be a rodeo shoot off, and everybody's just gonna die, and that's gonna be the end of the show, because how else can you end it? Like, it's either everybody's gonna get taken down by the feds, maybe Carter and all of them, or there's gonna be a shoot off and everybody's just gonna die. That's the only way I could see it ending logically, you know, without us wanting more. Unless they're going to have some other spinoff. Dun, dun, dun. All right, you guys. Well, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what y'all thought down below.